So there's lots of different reasons people can leak urine, and there's also different causes of urinary incontinence or urinary leakage. So basically, it depends on the activity. It depends when and where it's happening. For instance, if somebody has urinary leakage with an increase in intra-abdominal pressure, they're coughing, laughing, sneezing, and then they're noticing that they're leaking or they're peasing, some people will call it. That would be considered stress urinary incontinence. So a pressure from above pushes down on the pelvic floor, and then we're not able to lift and kink underneath that bladder and around the urethra to prevent leakage. Stress urinary incontinence can also happen with things like lifting heavy or movement. So again, depending on what exactly we're doing, maybe how many reps of it we're doing, there's a lot that kind of goes into figuring out why someone has stress incontinence. And then there's what's called urge incontinence. Urge incontinence is that type of leakage where you get this quick or strong sensation like you have to hurry to the bathroom, you didn't get a lot of warning, you might even leak if you don't get to the toilet in time. So the causes and mechanisms of those two issues are different. They're not the same. So to treat everyone with any kind of urinary leakage would not be necessarily helpful, because leakage can have different causes, different treatments that are going to make people better and worse. It could be as simple as a breathing pattern and some body mechanics that we need to fix, or it could be related to something like scar tissue, muscle tightness, having a nervous bladder, or maybe a history of a lot of bladder infections that kind of drive you to have to feel like you're going to the bathroom when you're uncomfortable. So there's a lot that goes into that question, and in order to treat it well, you really need to get specific about the person, place, and time it's happening. Now, there's also mixed incontinence. So mixed incontinence is kind of a combination of stress incontinence and urge incontinence. So you're both having that leakage with cough, laugh, sneeze, maybe impact, running, lifting, but then you're also having leakage on the way to the bathroom, feeling that uncomfortable sensation like you need to hurry. Now, it's important to know that stress incontinence, if not treated, it can evolve into mixed incontinence, and especially if it's treated incorrectly. So for instance, sometimes people with stress incontinence will be told by their doctors or Google, or they'll just hear it from a friend that they just need to squeeze more, do more Kegels, clench your pelvic floor better. Well, if the cause of their stress incontinence was not purely just weakness, if there were other things involved that weren't accounted for, a lot of the time you're going to cause pelvic floor tightness. That's going to irritate the urethra and bladder, and then you end up with all these different types of incontinence. So that kind of just goes back to how important getting an individual assessment and discussion about your specific urinary leakage is. So I would ask the person, because those types of urinary incontinence, that's a subjective thing that people can tell me. When are you leaking? Where are you leaking? How does it feel when it's happening? That will kind of let me know that. And then we'll go from there and see what I find on my assessment as well.